back again. We're sticking with the, well, minis that have a, well, wooden railway compound, I guess, as the only form of merchandise. Here we have Sam, the big, strong American engine. Well, he's not the only American engine that's also big and strong. Sam is definitely a similar character to Hank, a one-off character from Series 12 that we've already talked about. But unlike Hank, who's clearly from the southern part of the United States, Sam is clearly from the northeastern part. Granted, his tenor says Virginian, but that can mean anything, as Virginia is not really considered part of the deep South. Okay? And still, Sam is very unique. Okay? Again, for context, he uses Hero's model with Gordon or Henry's face. I think more closer to Henry's since it doesn't have those weird flanges on the side. Might bang some peel off the wheels a bit more of his, but other than that, that's really about it. He makes him a great companion to Logan. Well, that's all for now. Join me next time we're looking at Toss Mini. Finally, to the Railway Series characters. And here we have probably one of the most unique minis I've ever made. Bale. Now, Bale, of course, is made from Diesel 10, as you can probably guess why. Heck, you can still feel where Pinchy is, despite it being painted over to make it look like it's a roof. But I'm wondering, wait, why the yellow face? What's up with that? Well, for the curious viewers, some characters in the Railway series didn't have the standard gray faces. Let's try to get Percy, for example. You see, characters like Percy had more gray face. However, some of most Diesels, characters like Daisy had a green face, while characters like Bear had a yellow face. Now, just for disclosure, I'm aware that the term means something else, but I don't think it's going to get anybody else. This literally means the color yellow, not the stereotype. Okay? Just want to throw that out there, as I'm sure people can answer some questions. This menu was created all the way back for Series 3, and the face was done by then. But unfortunately, the rest was not, as I used the ones with the green paint. Luckily for Series 5, I was able to get him to work, and he's appeared in the series ever since. Well, that's all for now. Join me next time looking at Task Mini. I love to portray characters that don't get a lot of focus in Friends. And the Mallard is probably one of the most well-known characters that we don't get to see a lot. Of course, based off of a Spencer model, the Mallard is the fastest engine in the world. In fact, for a British engine, it still holds the record for the land speed railway record, which is something that's so impressive. Nowadays, the auto trains are a lot faster. However, for steam engines, it is still unbeaten. And keep in mind, steam engines went out of style in the 1960s. And because of this, Mallard is in preservation at the National Railway Museum in York, England. So, if you want to see this engine for real life, you can see him there. Okay? Honestly, this was Origin debut in Season 3, and you actually could see him in Season 3. But I love my portrayal as Mallard, as this engine who was like that, all that fame of being the fastest steam engine in the world, goes straight to his head. And thus, everybody is so tired of him because no one can keep up with his antics anymore. Well, that's all for now. Join me next time to look at Toss Mini. I cannot stress this enough. I love talking about character minis that are not common. Wilbert, the Forest engine, is one of those minis, okay? Based off of the real-life engine, Wilbert, which was actually named after the original author of the Railway series, Wilbert Awdry. Well, Awdry himself made, let's see, Wilbert in production. This was easily one of my favorite characters to make, okay? Wilbert's got a dark blue finish. Although the name paint's a bit brighter blue, I couldn't find a darker blue pencil crayon, and Sharpie isn't really good on him. I think that Wilbert is probably perfect. Again, like others, he was created for Season 3 originally, but he was unfinished by then, so now he's been used again and again. I was like Wilbert. He's made off of a Bill/Ben model. I forgot which one. I think it's more Bill, though, actually, because this looks like tennis Bill's details. And, of course, he has James's base on it, too. I think that Wilbert fits well in the Thomas Mini's lamp. Okay, brings that nice Force engine we never get to see. That's all for now. Join me next time looking at a Toss Mini. This engine doesn't have a name. Instead, it only has a number. 16 is his name. And 16 went capital wheels one day. Well, kind of. It's kind of a long story. 16 is, again, like Robot, made after Bill and Ben model. Unlike Robot, he has an unfriendly personality. He's more of a jerk than Robot and doesn't seem to care much. Okay? He went past the danger sign deliberately. Okay? And doesn't seem to have that. I reflect that in this angry expression. Although I would have preferred an expression that says, yeah, I don't give a crap about anything, honestly. Honestly, well, 16's been one of those movies I don't think I'm going to use again. He was meant for one episode, and then that's it. But I like that. Well, it's all for now. Join me next time. I was looking at a Toss Mini. Okay. This might be one of the deepest of deep cuts we have. This is Albert. Albert appeared in Thomas Victoria, the 2007 novel. That's okay. It's really odd. Albert and Victoria is probably one of the more forgotten about duos. Albert was made after a Rosie model. I give him kind of a smug personality at times, but he thinks he's a hot shot, but really he's not. Kind of mirroring the house sense, but honestly, he looks pretty good. He has Ben's base, and again, most of him is mostly red. I kind of kept that kind of idea of this smug expression, kind of getting this like sly smile, almost like a smirk. I've actually seen people in real life pull that off. So yeah, it's something like that. But yeah, and he's found something else. And do you know what this means also? He is the last standard gauge engine we're going to be looking at in Customer Showcase. So, what are we looking at next? Well, join me next time as we look at a Toss Mini. Finally, we're off the standard gauge and into the narrow gauge with Rheneas or Rheneas. Yes, there are two different pronunciations. Rheneas in the TV series is known as Rheneas. However, in the books, he's known as Rheneas. It really doesn't matter which you pronounce it. Honestly, you could pronounce it both ways and it wouldn't matter either way. But Rheneas just feels more natural. So for the sake of this video, we're going to use that. He is made after a Millie model, which is really cool, okay? His face is really, and he has painted, he was a painted black. I gave him this kind of orangish, reddish mix, honestly. It fits perfectly on him. I love it. It's perfectly what Rheneas' shade is in the show. This kind of mix between red and orange. Almost like a vermilion / scarlet color. Okay? Even the doors, like they match up almost perfectly with the Mini's color scheme, making it almost match copy, okay? Rheneas has always been a great narrow gauge character. I've always liked him, so he's a fan favorite of mine. Join me next time as I'm looking at a Toss Mini. Okay, there's nothing but drugstore loving. Hey, little thing, me light you can, cause mama, I'm sure hard to hang on now. Yes, around. Dun dun dun. Dun dun. You can't tell? Well, on to Handle. So Handle is very unique. Okay? I guess the line's not picking up, but in his face, it is had darker in shade. I guess I did use a bit times frame Handle's face. I guess there's a few other Toss Minis, but it doesn't really look all that bad, honestly. So Handle's made from a Scarloey model. So at least there's something with that. So yeah, he looks older than he actually is. So Handle was actually named Falcon before this appearance. Okay, he has number 3 and is painted dark blue. Okay, blue. Okay, in my series, it's kind of a mix between his series 4 personality, where he was basically a cranky, not listening to anybody, kind of rude engine, and his later personality, where he has a bit more of a tamer personality. It kind of goes on and off, and he kind of flip-flop between both his personas. So that's what he has in the show. So, okay, he can be a tad out of hand a lot of times. Pun intended. Well, that's all for now. Join me next time and look at another Toss Mini. On to a mini that's probably, well, my favorite no gauge character, Peter Sam. Yes. Well, this has Scott Lowy and Rheneas as my favorite characters. Mine has always been Peter Sam. Peter Sam is pretty much always past my favorite no gauge mini, and always will be. And this mini isn't at this point either. He is based off of a Stanley model. Yeah, I guess again based off of a picture I found on the internet, and they use a Stanley model, so I thought, I'll do the same thing here. And here, okay. One thing that they did have is that I guess they have a bit of an odd funnel. PSM always has, but PSM fans funnels always make me look kind of weird. Okay, it has this kind of odd base shape to it, and as such, it has a kind of attitude. Okay. I painted him dark green, and the base is also a Stanley model too. Guess I just picked Stanley because he's in vogue at the time. Well, that's all for now. Join me next time looking at Thomas Mini. The safetiness is always safe for this engine with Rusty. See, okay? Rusty is of course is actually based off of I think maybe a Birch model, or at least I think that's what it is. Okay? Rusty is painted mostly orange. I guess this part's a bit off color, actually. It should be this shape orange, not this. Actually, Rusty should be more closer to this shape orange than this shape orange. But I wasn't really sure to do. But hey, it looks pretty good. The bottom face is on a James model because I can barely read the barely legible text. And he has a kind of... His face, again, is probably classic Rusty's face. Although Rusty's face in the TV series can fluctuate in size at times, looking really small and really big. They've always got that kind of thing, too. I think we will see that for some time, they never had a defined gender, in a sense. They always use either use Rusty's name or, of course, the little Diesel. It wasn't until season 7 when Rusty was actually identified fully as a male by giving him. But still, that's a unique thing that I was surprised that they just did. Shows even back then they had approval for that. That's all for now. Join me next time with another Toss Mini.